You may even be a nice, polite, hard-working guy, but if you don't know how to start a conversation with a woman in an interesting way, the game is already lost. It's not an exaggeration. In times of social media, where everyone sends the same message, being different is more than just charm, it's survival. Most men still believe that it is enough to be good people and say, "Hi, how are you?" to win someone over. But do you know what happens to these guys? They disappear in the crowd. The truth is that women are not waiting for a prince. They are waiting for someone to take them out of their boredom, someone who knows how to provoke laughter, generate curiosity, and hold attention with an engaging conversation. And no, that's not a gift, it's a technique. Simple, practical, and powerful techniques that you can apply from today, even if you feel shy or stuck. The problem is that no one taught you that until now. In this video, you will discover the 6 secrets that differentiate an ordinary man from a valuable man. Secrets that confident men use to talk naturally, awaken attraction, and generate real connection without having to pretend to be someone they're not. We'll reveal why your conversations die quickly, how to break the ice without seeming forced, and what to do to never run out of topics again. If you want to stop being ignored and start being remembered, this is your moment. But I warn you, this content is not for those who want silly shortcuts or ready-made, cheap, seductive phrases. It's for those who want real transformation. You're about to understand why some conversations just work and others become just another forgotten notification. Ready to turn this game around? So take a deep breath, pay attention, and commit to applying what you learn, because once these secrets are revealed, there will be no more excuses. There are a lot of people out there who still believe that a "Hi, how are you?" it's a magical gateway to a woman's heart. But let me tell you something. This is the equivalent of trying to open a safe with a paperclip. It's not that it's offensive, it's just that it's empty. Generic phrases do not provoke emotion, do not arouse curiosity, and definitely do not generate attraction. A man of value needs to understand that seduction begins with intention, and intention shows in the words he chooses. Think to me, how many times has she heard this in a day? 10, 20? Now imagine that you arrive differently, without seeming desperate, but bringing something that takes you out of automatic mode. It could be a subtle comment about a detail in her photo, or a curious question about something she mentioned in her stories. This already puts you in another category, that of men who have presence and know how to carry on a conversation. Whoever masters the art of engaging dialogue also masters the beginning of any relationship. And here comes an important point in personal development. If you want to stand out, you need to show that you know how to listen, observe, and create topics in a creative way. Seduction isn't about ready-made phrases, it's about knowing how to read the moment. And the alpha man understands that language is power. Avoiding generic conversations is like avoiding an abyss. You may even step there thinking it's firm, but within seconds everything sinks. So, avoid cliches. If she says the day is busy, don't say normal, say, "And when do you breathe in the middle of it all?" Seems simple, but this phrase opens up space for laughter, identification, and emotional connection. This is knowing how to pull the right thread. And the most interesting thing, when you start thinking like this, the conversation never dies. Do you know why? Because there is a powerful technique that high-value men use that you can apply right now. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to have the gift of talking for hours without falling into a rut? It's not magic, it's method. The so-called infinite subject technique is a powerful tool in seduction and developing communication. And no, it's not about talking endlessly, but about creating intelligent connections between topics. It's like piggybacking on a word and letting it take you to a new and interesting destination. It works more or less like this. With every word the woman says, you listen carefully and turn it into a springboard for a new topic. If she says work, you can go to routine, then work trips, and from there to favorite cities or even typical foods. It's like an infinite staircase. Each step leads to another, and the conversation never stagnates. This demonstrates emotional intelligence, creativity, and attentiveness, three powerful weapons of attractive masculinity. A man of value masters this technique because he understands that conversation is a game of presence. And when you are present, you stand out. No closed answers, like ahem or cool. The secret is to listen with curiosity. This alone puts you ahead of 90% of men, because it shows that you are not there just out of need, but out of real interest, the kind of interest that generates true connection. Let's take a practical example. If she comments that she likes to paint in her free time, you can ask her if she prefers canvases or murals, if she has ever tried painting something abstract, or if she has a favorite color. In a few seconds, you went from one detail to three different subject possibilities. This catches her attention and shows that you are a man who knows how to guide and not just go with the flow. And the best thing is that, when you internalize this technique, it becomes something natural. Your conversation starts to have life, movement, flavor. And when the exchange is pleasant, the woman feels like continuing talking to you. But none of this is any use if you don't know how to transform words into real bridges. Here's a practical example that will make everything clearer. Imagine the following situation. She says she spent the weekend watching something on Netflix. Most guys would respond with, "Oh, cool, I watched that too," and let the conversation die. But the man who has mastered the art of seduction and personal development sees this as a golden opportunity. The word Netflix is not just information, it is a portal, a disguised invitation to explore emotions, tastes, stories, and even dreams. You can ask her what she watched, of course, but go further. If she mentions a series, you can pull up where the series is set. Ask if she has already traveled there or if she would like to. From there comes the hook. If you could travel anywhere in the world right now, where would you go? And that's it. They're already talking about travel, culture, experiences. This is how a man of value transforms an everyday detail into something memorable. This domino effect is the secret to engaging conversation. One topic leads to the other, without forcing, without seeming like an interview, and with a lot of space for lightness and humor. And the more natural this transition is, the more she will feel at ease around you. That's where the bond is born. Women don't just connect with words, they connect with sensations. And every well-conducted topic is a well-planted emotion. You can even go further. From the conversation about travel, you can draw on the type of typical food she has already tried. And from there, move on to healthy habits or even physical activities. And without realizing it, you're already in a conversation about lifestyle, compatibility, and routine, all starting from one word: Netflix. Seduction is not about having the right words. It's about knowing where each word can take you. And if this type of example has already opened your mind, wait until you understand how your body can also speak for you. And without saying a single word, before you even open your mouth, your body is already telling you everything. And this is where many men fail. The slumped posture, the scattered gaze, the retracted shoulders, all of this communicates insecurity before even saying hi. An alpha man understands that his body language is an extension of his masculinity. Therefore, he moves with presence, faces calmly, and conveys confidence even in silence. Eye contact, for example, is a powerful weapon of seduction. When you look into a woman's eyes, without rushing, without fear, you are saying, "I see you, I'm here," and that moves. The secret is not to stare like a predator, but to hold your gaze with lightness and intention. That's where magnetism lives, in that extra half second that others avoid. Posture also speaks. A man of value knows that open shoulders, a raised chin and firm feet are details that scream leadership. Do you want to be safe? Start by mastering your own space. Even when you're sitting, the way you cross your arms or hold your spine tells you whether or not you feel worthy of her attention. And guess what? Women understand all this in the blink of an eye, and it doesn't stop there. Your tone of voice, the rhythm of your speech, your hand gestures, everything makes up your seduction stage. Men who speak slowly, with a firm voice and strategic pauses, arouse curiosity. Have you ever noticed that people who are in a hurry seem insecure? So it is. Silent seduction is often more powerful than 1,000 words. Your body is your ally. Just learn to use it. But nothing replaces the impact of a live meeting, where all of this can truly be felt, without filters, without emojis, without editing. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about now. The truth is that no text message, no matter how well written, replaces the power of a face-to-face look. It is in the face-to-face meeting that the energy is revealed, that the subtle touch happens, that the smell, the tone of voice, and the vibration of the moment create something impossible to replicate on a screen. A man of value understands that digital seduction is just a bridge. The destination is always real contact. That's where the real game begins. When you limit yourself to the virtual, you become just another notification. But when you have a physical presence, you become a memory, and memories stir emotions. The transition from online to in-person is a step of courage and authenticity, and men who know how to navigate this journey show leadership and initiative, two qualities that arouse deep interest in women. Of course, it's not about being hasty, but about being strategic. If the conversation is flowing, if there is mutual interest, why wait weeks for a simple coffee? Setting up a quick, no-pressure meeting can be the trigger for something more intense. It could be a walk in the park, a bookstore, or even a cultural event. The important thing is to get out of theory and into practice, because it is in the real world that relationships solidify. A well-run meeting does not need to be a spectacle. It just needs to be real. Show who you are, without exaggeration. Show genuine curiosity, listen carefully, and be there whole. The simple fact of dedicating yourself to the moment already puts you miles ahead of most. Women value presence, not perfection. And the more natural the meeting, the stronger the connection. And when the connection happens, comes the question that stops many men: how to make the right invitation, how to turn a promising conversation into an irresistible invitation. That's the key to the last point. The time has come to act. You created a connection, aroused curiosity, showed value, and now comes the invitation. But don't worry, it's not about, will you go out with me? Like someone asking for a favor. A man of value does not invite, and he proposes an experience. The secret is in security. When you convey clarity, lightness, and enthusiasm, the yes comes more naturally. It's like saying, I have something cool in mind and I'd love to share it with you. The ideal invitation is one that fits the context. If she says she loves Japanese food, invite her to that new restaurant. If you mention that you like quiet places, suggest a charming cafe in the late afternoon. Personalization is the difference. There is no effective seduction without attention to detail. And when she realizes that you thought of her when choosing the place, that makes an impact a lot. Now, pay attention. Timing is everything. Inviting too soon can seem hasty. Waiting too long can cool the mood. So, read the signs. If the conversation is flowing, if there are frequent exchanges, smiles, and quick responses, this is the moment. An alpha man doesn't hesitate. He acts. And if she refuses, that's okay. Refusal doesn't define her value, it just shows her time. And a mature man understands this with serenity, and there's more. Be objective and clear, but without rigidity. No, do you want to go out with me on Saturday at 8 p.m. at the mall? Prefer something like, I'm thinking about going to the food fair on Saturday. It looks like it's going to be really cool. Would you like to go with me? You invite, suggest, and leave space for her to want. It's the balance between intention and respect, and this balance is pure charm. Now that you know how to ask, you might be wondering, what if she says yes? What to do on the first date to really make a statement and not fall into the forgettable category, and that is how we will open the next cycle in a new conversation. Now that you've discovered the secrets that really work, comes the most important part: applying. There's no point in knowing how to start a conversation. Keep the conversation flowing or ask someone out. If you keep standing still, transformation happens in action. So tell me, how many opportunities have you passed up for fear of making mistakes? How many times have you thought, she's too much for me, and just given up? Perhaps your biggest mistake was believing that you need to be perfect. It is not necessary. It needs to be real, present, and strategically interesting, and that is now in your hands. You already have the knowledge. The question is, will you use it? Or will you continue repeating the cycle of ignored messages, awkward silences, and meetings that never happen? Be honest with yourself. This is about more than women. It's about self-esteem. It's about the man you choose to be. So tell me, which of these 6 secrets do you most need to apply right now? Which one will be your priority in the next few days? Right here in the comments. I want to know where you are and how far you are willing to go. Your answer may help other men who are going through the same phase. Remember, growth is personal, but the path can be collective. The community here is strong. If this content helped you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. This shows me that you value this type of teaching and want to continue evolving. And you can be sure this is just the beginning. There is much more to come about seduction, personal development, masculinity, and everything that transforms an ordinary man into an unforgettable man. Now you leave this video with a mission. Apply at least one of the secrets today, because whoever acts transforms, and whoever transforms never returns to the same place.